Hello everyone, welcome to Praveen Tutorial Point. In this session we are going to discuss about impulse. See, for that I am considering a situation here. Consider a mass m and a force F is acting on the mass particle m. So obviously it will have some acceleration due to the force, and initially it is having a velocity u bar and finally it is having a velocity v bar. And according to Newton's second law of motion, we know that F equal to ma, and also we know that acceleration a equal to v minus u by t. So force F equal to, force acting on the mass particle F equal to m into, you can write this as v bar minus u bar by t, and this can be written as force F bar equal to, if we bring the t this side, force into time equal to mv bar minus mu bar. So the force into time is nothing but final momentum minus initial momentum. So here this final momentum or a change in momentum or force into time is called as impulse. So impulse can be defined as like this: the product of force and time on which it acts is called as impulse, and change in linear momentum of a body is called as impulse. In two ways we can define this. So the first definition is the product of force and time on which it acts is called impulse. And in another way we can say as change in linear momentum of a body is termed as impulse. So this is the definition of impulse, and impulse is measured in terms of, or the SI unit of impulse is Newton's second or kg meter per second. See, force Newton times second, or simply if you take momentum SI unit is kg meter per second, and this impulse is a vector physical quantity. Impulse is a vector physical quantity. The impulse applied on a given object in a given interval of time can be measured by using this area under force and time graph. So this is the force and time graph. So under this force and time graph we can measure the impulse. See, impulse graph seems to be like this. That means at the zero time the force is very little, and at this much of time the force is rapidly increased this much, and at this much of time the force is this one, and here it is this much, and again finally the force becomes 0. Here if you consider this area, this is the area under force and time graph. So if we calculate this area, we will get impulse. So area is equal to force into time, and as this is the area, so I am taking here integral of force into time, so F dt, and this can be written as Already we know from Newton's second law of motion, force is nothing but change in momentum, so dp bar by dt into dt. And here area upon time, if I write area upon time, and this force is nothing but the average force, and that will be equal to dp bar by dt into dt upon time, upon time. And here dt dt get cancel, so integral of dp bar upon time, so this is average force equal to dp bar, integral of dp bar by time. And here integral of dp bar in the sense change in momentum, so change in momentum upon time. This is a average force equal to change in momentum by time. Or we can write like this, if we bring time this side, force into time equal to mv bar minus mu bar. Change in momentum is nothing but mv bar minus mu bar. Or we can write like this also, p bar f minus p bar I, which is equal to force into time. So this is called as impulse. We can find impulse by using the area under force and time graph. And talking about this impulse, if you observe a cricket player who is going to catch the ball, he will catch the ball in this manner. That means force into time, no, delta t. This force impulse is nothing but a large force will act in very small interval of time. Small interval of time, a large force will act. See, the ball will come with very high velocity towards the player. If the player catches the ball like this, he is stopping the velocity of the ball. The velocity after reaching to the hands of the player, the ball velocity will become 0. That means he is stopping a large force, so definitely he will get hurt. If he is pulling his hands backward, what he is doing is he is increasing the time period. By increasing the time period, the force will get decreased. So by increasing the time period, force will be decreased and it will be a safe catch. And in the same way, if you observe trains compartments, in between each compartment buffers are arranged, a large springs. So what these large springs will do, when there is a compression between a compartment and another compartment, the compression takes place in that buffers. So as the compression takes place, the time period increases, which should be held on the compartment. The time period will increase and force will be reduced. Not only that, if you observe bikes also, bikes will have, that means springs will be there. See, on a smooth road it will be very good, but when a speed breaker comes or any pit comes, when the bike tire enters into it, there will be a disturbance, and that disturbance may be for the driving person or who is sitting back. So to reduce the disturbance, the shock absorbers will help. What they will do? They will increase the time period. When a force attacks on it, by compression, time period increases. As the time period increases, force decreases, and it is a comfortable take. And in the same way, if you drop an egg on the concrete floor, we know that the egg will break. If the same egg is dropped on a mattresses or on a sponge, definitely the egg may not break. Here also we are increasing the, when the egg touches the concrete floor, immediately it is hitting and coming to rest. So force is a large force and it will break. But if it is touching a sponge, here the sponge compresses. By compressing, it will increase time period, force will be reduced and it may be safe. And let us consider one example here for that impulse. Consider a person jumping from a height. See, if a person is jumping from a height, so what would be the force acting on that person? The force is average force. The average force acting on the person will be mv bar minus mu bar upon time. See, as ft equal to mv bar minus mu bar, average force F equal to mv bar minus mu bar by t, time. So if the person is jumping, the final velocity of the person will be 0. That means mv bar will be 0. While reaching ground, he will be at rest. So mu, consider the person weight as 60 kg and he is coming with a uniform velocity or with a velocity of 40 meter per second, and in a fraction of second he will hit the ground. So 0.5 seconds. So we will get 4800 Newton. So this is the average force, a large force acting on the person who is jumping from a certain height. Not only this force, if the height increases, the force also will increase accordingly, and this force will act on the person in a very short period, very short period. So due to that short period, a large force acting on the person may be injured. So if you consider any collisions, any accidents, these accidents are also due to this impulse. Large force will act in a very short interval of time. So due to that, there will be a very huge damage. And coming to the impulsive force, these impulsive forces are responsible for the collisions. Due to these impulsive forces only collisions takes place, and these collisions takes place in different particles, and these collisions are mainly due to impulsive forces. That means large force acting in a very short period of time. So this is about impulse. Thank you.